This movement analysis is done by Sarah and Anna. We will be focused on the glenohumeral, elbow, and wrist joints. The first phase of bat swing is the stance. The right shoulder is abducted, extended, and externally rotated, while the left shoulder is diagonally adducted and internally rotated. Both elbows are flexed and both wrists are extended. Muscles during this stance are isometrically contracting. Muscles contracting in the right shoulder are the latissimus dorsi, infraspinatus, teres minor, and supraspinatus. In the left shoulder is the coracobrachialis, pectoralis major, and anterior deltoid. In both elbows, the biceps brachii, brachialis, and brachioradialis are contracting. In both wrists, the extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis, as well as the extensor carpi ulnaris, are contracting. Phase 2 is the loading phase. In this phase, the right shoulder is externally rotated and abducted, while the left shoulder is adducted. The right elbow is in pronation and the left elbow is in extension. The right wrist is in pronation and the left wrist is in radial deviation. Muscles are contracting eccentrically during this phase. The muscles contracting in the right shoulder are the infraspinatus, trapezius, and teres minor, and in the left shoulder the pectoralis major, coracobrachialis, and latissimus dorsi, and teres major. Muscles in the right elbow are the biceps brachii, pronator teres, pronator quadratus, and brachialis. In the left elbow is the triceps brachii, anconeus, and supinator. Muscles acting on the right wrist are the flexor carpi radialis and extensor carpi radialis longus. Muscles acting on the left wrist are the abductor pollicis longus, extensor pollicis longus and brevis, and extensor carpi radialis brevis. Phase 3 is the swing phase. The right shoulder is internally rotated and horizontally adducted, while the left shoulder is horizontally abducted. Both elbows are in extension, and the right wrist goes from flexion to neutral, while the left wrist goes from neutral to ulnar deviation. In the right shoulder, the pectoralis major, serratus anterior, anterior deltoid, and coracobrachialis are all concentrically contracting. In both the elbows, the triceps and anconeus are concentrically contracting. The extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis and extensor carpi ulnaris is contracting concentrically on the right and isometrically on the left. Phase 4 is the follow-through. The right shoulder is in horizontal adduction and the left shoulder is in diagonal abduction. The right elbow is in extension and the left elbow is in flexion. The right wrist is in extension and the left wrist is in flexion. Eccentrically contracting in the right shoulder is the pectoralis major, anterior deltoid, and coracobrachialis. Eccentrically contracting in the left shoulder is the posterior deltoid, infraspinatus, and teres minor. The triceps brachii and anconeus are eccentrically contracting in the right elbow, and the biceps brachii, brachialis, and brachioradialis are eccentrically contracting in the left elbow. The extensor carpi radialis longus and brevis, extensor carpi ulnaris, and extensor digitorum are concentrically contracting in the right wrist. The flexor carpi radialis, flexor carpi ulnaris, flexor pollicis longus, and flexor digitorum superficialis are concentrically contracting in the left wrist. The elbow and the wrist are both considered levers of the body, and the kinetic chain starts with the twist of the hip.